Guys, there was a hearing for Lil Durk's situation today, and the paperwork is just circulated on Reddit, and it's not looking too good. It hasn't got to the point where they've officially added additional murder charges to him, but it does appear to suggest that they actually do intend to file more murder charges, apparently murder in aid of racketeering charges, and this is all basically in response to Didi's motion to kind of sever and, separate himself from Durk's situation, and the feds are saying absolutely not, and now they're releasing more surveillance footage that shows that Didi was very much involved. They've actually got surveillance footage of the killers of Lil Pab basically kicking it in In-N-Out Burger right after the murder while Lil Pab's body was getting pulled out of the shot up Escalade in the middle of the street. These guys were all together getting an In-N-Out, and Didi was there, and ain't no severance. All of that talk of like, oh no, he ain't really not have nothing to do with the planet. Nah, you there with the killers getting a burger. So this is very, very bad. Okay. So this is what's just come out, okay? It says the government responds to OTF Didi's application for bond reconsideration today in court, and I did know they were having a court date today. It says the government informed the defense that the additional charge they intend to file is murder in aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit stalking, okay? So they said they really got these dudes 45 minutes later laughing at an In-N-Out or Five Guys. When the government wants you, they will find you. So this is what they said. It says defendant Didi application for bond reconsideration is premised on the government's decision to bring additional murder charges arising from the execution-style murder that the defendant and his co-conspirators committed on August 19th. Defendant... Now, what's interesting here, it says they're planning to bring additional murder charges from the execution-style murder the defendant and his co-conspirators committed. That's confusing, because that makes me think that that's weird, because that just makes me think that, like, that doesn't suggest that they're actually going to put the Stefan Mack murder on him. It suggests that they're going to put more charges from the murder related to the murder on Didi. So it says defendant falsely suggests his role in the LA murder is materially subordinate to every other charged defendant. Both arguments lack merit and should be rejected. Indeed, the facts before the court only strengthen the case for detention. Defendant allegedly committed the charged murder while released on bond facing separate murder charges in Chicago. Defendant was later acquitted of that conduct, but his criminal history, including pending state charges for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, established his continued dangerousness. Dangerousness, a bit of a weird word to use. Is that actually... Is dangerousness a real word? It appears to be a real word. So this is defendant's leadership role in the charged murder further supports denying his request for bond reconsideration. Defendant is charged with recruiting other hitmen to travel across the country to hunt and kill Quando Rondo, a rival of Durk. Defendant and the other hitmen traveled to California to carry out the brazen premeditated gang murder. Once they arrived, defendant and his co-conspirators used two vehicles to track and stalk Quando from the night of August 18th till the afternoon of August 19th when the murder occurred, specifically after tracking the rival to a busy gas station in Beverly Hills. And it says 3 of the defendant's co-conspirators opened fire with multiple firearms, including a machine gun, missing their intended target and murdering Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab. Now, here's where things get a little bit spicy, okay? And I'm a little bit confused why this is kind of such lower quality compared to this one. That is a little bit sus, if you ask me. But anyway, it says surveillance video shows less than 45 minutes later, while SR's bullet-riddled body was being removed from a vehicle, defendant was ordering food and laughing with his co-conspirators as depicted in the screenshot below. This is not a close case. The evidence of the defendant's guilt is significant and includes testimony from multiple witnesses, text messages showing defendant recruited others to help commit the crime, and other evidence showing defendant's leadership role in the alleged gang enterprise. Defendant's willingness to commit murder while on pretrial release for murder shows a complete disregard for the law and establish he poses an extraordinary danger to the community. Contrary to the defendant's position, the government's decision to bring new charges, 1, alleging additional murder and violent crimes committed by the defendant's gang enterprise, is not mitigating. So it says, as defendant noted in his filing for transparency and in light of the August 20 trial date, the government informed defense counsel that it intended to bring additional charges, including murder in aid of racketeering, vicar murder in violation of 18 USC, and conspiracy to commit stalking in violation of 18 USC. So that line suggests that they are actually letting the court know that they are planning to bring the Stefan Mack murder to the table. Okay. So pretty much right. It says it's not mitigating. No conditional combination of conditions can reasonably assure either the safety of the community or the defendant's appearance. The application for bail should be denied. Defendant must be detained pending trial where no conditional combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the person required and the safety of any other person in the community. There was a case law that they're citing. Basically says it affirms the detention order even though murder for hire defendant had never previously been charged with a violent crime because the record contains compelling evidence of the defendant's participation in the charged crimes and his knowledge and acquiescence in the use of violence to commit them, which admits a clear and compelling finding he posed a threat of future harm. Basically, it's saying, okay, he participated in a gang murder. While he was on bond, or while he was awaiting trial for another murder, which he beat, and he has other violent crimes outstanding, assaults with a deadly weapon, etc. And then they're about to hit him with another murder in furtherance of this whole gang that he's a part of. And he's all up in and out, laughing and joking with the killers. So yeah, no bail for you, buddy. Okay, Didi. Sorry, no bail for you. You're actually a danger. You're actually a danger to the community. You're actually a danger to me. I'm in the community. You're a danger to me. It would be dangerous for you to be out. It says this was a case law. It said where they affirmed detention order for a defendant whose danger to the community was clearly and convincingly evidenced by his readiness to commit the charged murder for hire. They're basically saying Didi's ready to go. He's ready to kill for OTF the gang. So no bond, right? No bond. We don't want to have you in and out laughing and joking with the killers again. It says, so conclusion, defendant's release would pose a grave risk to the safety of the public and witnesses and potential witnesses in the case. No condition or combination of his conditions can ensure defendant's appearance or mitigate his danger to the community. The court should order defendant detained. So I'm honestly not surprised that they're basically deciding to keep Didi detained. I think that the chances are, it sounds like they're planning to add these additional charges. Now, it's a bit unusual that it would sort of say, like, where it said here that I thought was interesting about the other murder, it says the government's, contrary to the defendant's position, the government's decision to bring new charges alleging additional murder and violent crimes committed by the defendant's gang enterprise is not mitigating. So basically, they are saying the defendant noted in his filing, right, in light of the August 20 trial date, the government informed defense counsel it intended to bring additional charges, including murder in aid of racketeering. And does that say conspiracy to commit stalking in violation of US code? So basically what they're saying is that you're trying to say that you want to basically get out and have some bail because you ain't have nothing to do with Stefan Mack's murder. The state is saying, no, you big OTF, right? You big only the family, right? You big Didi, OTF Didi. Nah, you a danger to the community. You part of a criminal conspiracy to have people killed city to city, and you had a murder case in Chicago. Absolutely not. So I think that little tidbit, I just wonder when they're going to bring these additional charges, because if they bring these additional charges here in June, ain't no way they're doing a August 20th trial date. Yes, I'm sure Durk is aware that the Stefan Mack murder is potentially something he's going to have to face. He knows what he did, and that ain't the only one. But his team actually do need time to go through the discovery, actually work out how cooked he is, how much evidence the prosecution actually has on him. And so I do think it's a bit weird that they keep teasing these extra charges, but like they ain't actually landed yet. They're teasing them. I thought I would wake up today after this hearing and find out Durk had been hit with these additional murder for hire charges against Stefan Mack, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So I don't know if we're going to get an update in the next few days. Really, like, they either need to announce these new charges and delay the trial, or they need to just accept that they're not adding these new charges and they're going to do the August 20th trial date. It's very, very interesting. It's very bizarre. What I do think is interesting is that currently the trial date is scheduled for one day after the murder happened, 4 years on. So within one day of it happening. And I do find it really interesting that like these prosecutors, they often pick these dates, like they often pick dates that are like really relevant, or like, we saw David kind of get arrested like roughly around the time, like a few days before they saying that he committed the murder. So they ain't let him get to the anniversary of the murder before they arrested him. And I thought that was really, really fascinating. So I think that they're going to add the charges, but I just think it's really confusing. They keep teasing it, they keep mentioning it in paperwork, but then it's not actually popping up. So I'll let you guys know if I hear anything more. I could be doing another update later today. These charges could get slapped on him. There could be another hearing. This was Didi's hearing paperwork. They might have more paperwork locked and loaded and ready to go. And it could be today, because I know that we're hearing a bunch of arguments today in court for this one. But anyway, if I hear more, I'll let you guys know. I've got some other topics that I want to talk about today. I'm probably going to do a couple of updates that maybe are not so what you're used to hearing me talk about, but I've got some really important topics that I think need to be discussed. So I will be back with another update. Okay, I'm not sure if I've got a David update for you today, to be honest, but we've been absolutely tearing apart their Reddit communities in the past few videos, so go and check out those if you haven't seen them. I know they're long videos, but they're very interesting. If you followed this David case very closely, then you'd like to know what's going on behind the scenes with the info. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks for watching this one. I'm out. Peace.